Rewind.
We're rewinding.
Can we have to find a new name because I can't say it. Rewind.
I'm gonna make it.
Rewind.
I'm gonna make it even more complicated. It's called the Reverse Review Rewind.
You're a jerk. What are we talking about this week?
We're talking.
Will you give me a clue?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nailed it. I practiced that for hours overnight.
In the
I just
mirror?
looked in the mirror and I was like, you gotta nail this. I legit love this movie. I've loved it since I was a kid. I think it's fantastic, and nothing you say can change my mind. Episode over.
That's it. But anyways, if anyone doesn't know, and this is their first time watching the Rewind, we watch movies that are over 30 years old, and we talk about them.
And since we decided Knives Out coming out very soon, we're all very excited here.
Pumped.
Everyone at THV11 is talking about
They
it.
just
even
constantly.
Even Craig, Ed.
Craig does he doesn't even know the name of the movie, but he's like, man, that movie
That movie.
that has the people in it. I'm excited.
It's a murder mystery, and so we thought, you know what? Let's look back.
Clue is more relatable to Knives Out.
Yeah.
And also, Clue came out in December 34 years ago. So, it's a nice little mystery that we just solved.
Yeah.
The origins of Clue.
The mystery of, we have just solved the mystery of why we did this movie. You're welcome.
Solved.
Yep.
Look, hire us.
It was Michael in the Getting Real room with a computer.
It's
Research. You
No,
researched.
like those huge Mac computers from the early 2000s.
The IBM computer,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Based on the popular board game, some would say maybe the best board game ever invented.
Well, Risk is out there, so
Is it a Risk movie?
I think they tried and they failed. So.
Anyways, based on the popular board game Clue, you have these people who show up to a mansion. They don't know why they're there. Turns out they're all being blackmailed by the same person, and their blackmailer gets murdered, and they all have to figure out who did it. And more people start to show up and die. It's a comedy. It sounds like a horror film, but it's actually
It's a straight up comedy.
Oh, it is the best.
And if you've ever played Clue, usually it's just one body that's been dead, and you have to figure out who killed them. This one, we got some things going.
Yeah. The first person who's murdered, the first body, if you will,
Oh,
Mr. Body.
they really tried hard on that name right there.
Well, no, I believe that in the board game, it's the Body Mansion.
Yeah.
The cast is stacked.
Stacked with character actors that are all great.
Tim Curry, who may give the performance of his life. I know people are all about Rocky Horror Picture Show, but if you've never seen Clue and you've never seen Tim, it is exhausting to watch him.
Yeah.
And so much fun. Then you've got Christopher Lloyd.
With brown hair, not white hair.
Yeah. Probably the last time it was brown.
Probably. He probably dyed it for this, honestly. 85 was a big year for him.
Yeah.
Back to the
Future.
And Clue.
Wait, I think Back to the Future, he definitely had to die, because Back to the Future came out like months before this.
Yeah, he died it.
Yeah.
I think he was dying it back when Taxi was still on TV.
Martin Mull as Colonel Mustard.
Perfect.
Perfect.
He's looked the same for like 40 years.
He still looks the same. Then another highlight, you got Michael McKean as Mr. Green.
Great.
Leslie Ann Warren as Miss Scarlet. Madeline Kahn as Mrs. White. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
And then you've got Eileen Brennan as Mrs. Peacock. That rounds out the characters you know.
Yeah. There's a
The
few
playable characters.
Yeah.
But there's some others. There's the maid. There's the singing telegram girl. And the dogs. Can't forget about the dogs.
Of course, but the dogs don't get murdered, so don't worry about
Don't
that.
worry about it.
The cast is what holds it together the most. Like, watching it now as an adult 34 years later, some of the humor doesn't land like it probably would have, like if I watched it as a kid or if I watched it like in the 80s. But it's still funny. The final whole whodunit figuring out thing with Tim Curry running around the house is hilarious, but also at the same time, as you said, exhausting.
Yeah.
But it's it shows how great of an actor Tim Curry is, and that's why you cast him in movies like Congo as the bad guy.
I'm not gonna argue with you. I think you nailed it. Got it right on the head on that one.
I think one criticism I have is Christopher Lloyd isn't really much is going on with him.
No.
Yeah, he's kind of a pervert in the movie. His character is, and he's like staring at the maid's boobs the whole movie. But it's like that's basically his character, and there's not much going on else there. And he's such a great actor that I wanted more from
him. You're right. Everyone but Christopher Lloyd has little moments where they just kind of explode, or they have something crazy happen to them. You know, like Michael McKean. There's a great bit where he's just like stop doing that, like, and you know Madeline Kahn when she's like, flames, flames, out of my, like, it's just everyone has those moments except for Chris.
Because like in Taxi, he wasn't always the main character either, and a lot of times he just like faded into the background in a lot of episodes. Well, because Andy Kaufman's such a force of nature, but I think he wasn't like people didn't realize how good of a comedian he could be. And then Back to the Future proved that earlier in the year, but they
know that they're kicking themselves. They were like, we've already shot the movie. I love all the reoccurring bits of like a lot of it is just the same thing, the same like 15 jokes over and over and over and over again, which is a lot of fun to me. I don't know what it is about this movie. I think it's the perfect movie. It's like a bottle episode of a TV show.
Yeah, for sure.
But like an hour and like a half, maybe hour 45, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like really pay attention because it all is explained to you later.
Yeah.
You know, that would be bad in filmmaking now. You know, but it's just fun.
It's a good little movie. There's not much more to say to it than that. It's such a straightforward movie.
We have to talk about multiple endings.
Oh yes. Yeah. So one of the things it takes from Murder on the Orient Express is spoiler for a 34-year-old movie. Everyone's the killer is basically what the plot is.
Minus Mr. Green.
Yeah.
Who I always loved because that was my favorite character to play include Mr. Green. And I love that he was never the murderer.
But the fun part before all that is we get what we think is the murderer, and they play it out. Tim Curry does his whole spiel, and he's working for the police, and the police come in. But then it cuts to some title cards, and it's like, well, maybe that happened, but this might also happened. And we get another one, and then we get the real one.
And who is it? It's Miss Scarlet, and Miss Peacock.
Miss Peacock, and then it's everyone.
Yeah, they always get their man, and she's a man. It's so stupid.
There's a lot of this movie that feels improv, but like in a way that was like it's like Will Ferrell's movies where like they sort of improv it and then they figure out what's funny and then they redo it.
Yeah. What I love too about it is, you know, it never shies away from the main story too of like these are all people being blackmailed. They're all terrible people. And you kind of, and that ties into everyone who's there, who shows up. Everyone who's murdered is connected to another character. Who's your favorite character?
I really liked Tim Curry. Like,
he is the shining star of it.
Well, he's not the shining. He doesn't have the shine.
No, he didn't.
He's Pennywise.
Oh my gosh.
But he's the glue. Yeah. He's the glue that holds the whole movie together.
Yeah. And he really just. He kills it in the beginning, but it is just that last like 30 minutes that are his. Like I still like when people are like, no, it's like no. I mean, it really is a movie I saw when I was a kid, and I was just blown away by it. Yeah. What multiple endings? What twists? What murder?
Murder.
Now there's a lot of talk that this is being remade by Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds.
Well, okay. I feel okay. Mm-hmm. Jason Bateman has proven himself that he's capable with Ozark. And
who's he going to be?
Well, I think if you remake it, you have to have some more crazy characters.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Ryan Reynolds will be, I guess, the butler.
Well, I think either Jason
Wadsworth.
Bateman or Reynolds could play the butler, and it'd be good.
I don't think Bateman has the.
But now, have you seen the elevator commercial with Jason Bateman in it?
I still don't think he's got the kickiness.
Okay. What if they do like a meta version of it and just like Ryan Reynolds is a new character and they're just like, well, you're not supposed to be here.
Like John Travolta.
Yeah. What if they should have John Travolta in it.
As
Mrs. Peacock.
Perfect.
I nailed it. I know, guys. I nailed it there.
Casting director.
Oh, hello. What? Wait, you're saying this bit is old already? Oh, Okay, well, can I just keep doing it? Because I got to do this casting director thing. No, I can't? Oh, all right. Yep, I'll never do this again. Sorry.
Whoa, be careful with the phone.
Hope you enjoyed this review. If you want us to review a certain movie, please comment it. It has to be older than 30 years.
Yep.
And it's actually getting closer to where like the 90s is 30 years ago. So we're good. So just wait a few years and say Jurassic Park so we can do Jurassic Park.
Man, what movie came out in 1990?
Goodfellas? No, that's 91. Is it 91? Goodfellas is close. I know that.
We should do Batman.
1989.
We should only do movies that are exactly 30 years old.
Let's do it.
Hey, whatever. Murder.